Unbelievable. Cat, dog, scratched to bits. Alright, well luckily it didn't interrupt any gameplay. So that's a positive, I suppose. Well, basically, I can tell you what happened. The cat jumped on my computer, which is down there, and then Waffle, the miniature poodle, jumped on, well, put her paws up and pressed the off button, the power button on the computer. So, yeah. Animals, honestly, don't have them. Just don't have them. They're a nightmare. So now we start again. So very, very sorry about that, everyone. I suppose I better put it in the Discord. Well, thank you for coming back. Yeah, they are absolutely trolling me. Absolutely trolling me, but my arm is now bloody and disgusting. No, go away, get down. Honestly, I need a new desktop, a new PC case that does not have the power button on the top where they can press it. But thank you so much for coming back. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, guys. Get the sound back up.
Live here. Swans can't exit their D50 here.
Tapped it to the back. Walker. There's 3 Crows. One of them Saligo. Onto the boot and through the middle.
I partly wish I did not come back. I wish I did come back. Bloody awful. Crows start the second quarter with a goal and it makes it 39 for the Crows. Look at this, no one on him. Easy for them. Absolutely easy for them.
All the way out the back. So Mitchell comes in, he tries to do the right thing to stop Walker in his tracks. He's not big enough to be able to do that. Just falling apart everywhere here. John.
Even the commentators are now trolling us.
You turn your head and you see the young kids trying to do the right thing. Well, who else is pushing up then to get the Saligo? The next one has to come up.
It's almost like there's no leadership in the team, no leadership and no guidance.
31 points.
Like, no doubt we've got quite a few youngsters playing, but players like Grundy, where's the leadership there? Heaney, I know Heaney's not that old, but come on. He's one of the senior players. Show some leadership.
Stylish left-footer that he is. Kicks out to the wing. Barry Thilthorpe who came late. The fist was from McCartan.
If you've got a small forward line,
no wonder why.
Use the ball better going inside.
No wonder why the SCG is not full. Because I can see the Swans fans getting frustrated. I think we will be getting frustrated, and we'll be very lucky to make top 8 with that. And it will slowly slip away.
Again, both Ruckman unable to get to the footy. That time it goes unwhistled. Sheldrick, and they're in again. It's another high ball. Adams fights hard for position. Butts and a couple on the outside. Nice tackle, Hayward. Crowd call for ball.
Smother it for now.
The masses lets them keep playing. Everyone's expecting a ball up. Handball away. Adelaide gets it to Warren.
Well, yeah. The problem is at the start I was tipping Melbourne. I was tipping Melbourne pretty much every week. And all of a sudden they just started clicking again, didn't they? They started playing like the Melbourne of the last, what, 5 years or whatever.
carefully.
This is a difference, though, isn't it? So
and
ball goes
finally,
in,
you know,
Swans can't
Max
keep it
Gawn, for
inside
example, has
450.
been
He's the
old
kick
and
that Jono
slow and always second best.
You've been generous.
But
they're out to centre wing
actually,
and now got some relief. They can get
that's
set up
all
behind the
improved.
footy.
They've got themselves into gear now, haven't they? They really have, which is decent to see.
Rankin, Curtin, just starting to see him do little skillful things like that. Little manoeuvre to get it onto Dawson. One-on-one. Walker again did all the heavy lifting, but then couldn't complete the mark. Blakey under serious heat from Keys. That's what it's like every time they go to the footy.
And that's why you see Nick Blakey and All Australian double fist the ball in that first quarter, because the pressure comes the minute they get their hands on it.
Keys is doing a great job. Only 2 disposals so far for Blakey.
Ball up.
Trying to whack it away. Holding,
the problem is, I can't bloody tell. Sometimes it's really difficult to tell which way the team's playing, because they switch from one camera to the other. From one side of the pitch to the other, and it's confusing. It is very confusing. I wish they don't do it.
Didn't hit the floor because Keane takes the intercept, brings it into Neil Bullen. Now the all-important kick.
Throws a big ball in.
Handling
it gets punched.
And the follow-up is
and that is it. Oh God, you gotta just smother it. Gotta just smother it.
So the other point is that Hamling's
then.
there in defence. Tom McCartan's got his hands full as well. And Rampy's got his hands full. That's half of your defensive half. You can't get any run.
Rankin's turn, and he wasn't far away. Keys.
Stop him, stop him, stop him, stop him.
It took 3 Swans to slow him.
But the point, Hutto, they're flat out defending, let alone trying to transition the footy. Right. And Blakey's got his hands full with Keys. So
I just don't know what to say.
It's a difficult mix to get some run and carry.
What a point going on. Jordan goes back
I can only say that due to injury, that's all I can say. And I get, for example, it's a difficult one because even I was saying Longmire probably his time's up, because you know, yes, he got us to grand finals. He only won one of the grand finals he got us to. He had no plan B. So I get it that kind of you got to be careful what you wish for, right? And I think now it's a shame because quite often, you know, in football, new managers come in and teams quite often play better. I don't think that's the case. Now you can say it's adjusting to tactics, okay. Still, there's so many basic errors that have nothing to do with the new manager.
Well, when you go back and look at that kick, you can watch Alex Neil Bullen chase him down and put the pressure on.
So I can only go with injuries. I've got to blame injuries. Got to blame. Got to blame something. Another easy opportunity again for CROWS now.
And he takes the mark.
Hinge was happy too. Gave himself the fist pump because of how beautiful that kick was. And it was, and he had to be pinpoint.
Let's hope he kicks the goal, because we can show you in a nutshell how this
game's
unfolding.
I don't know. I don't know, Lance. Right? I'm not sure.
Potentially, if he kicks this, it kicks 7.
I would have hoped for an instant impact, but we're missing certain players. But even then, we've still had opportunities in previous games. We have had opportunities in previous games still to win and score, and we have not taken it. And there's an easy goal for CROWS. Riley Philthorpe.
So that's the end result. Great lead up, great mark, great goal. I want you to watch Alex Neil Bullen put pressure on Dane Rampy here. So the ball comes over the back. There's Neil Bullen, 28. That is enough. That's enough. That's what's been happening all night.
You don't kick the ball there.
Back into the corridor,
even if it's a common phrase in football. You do not kick the ball in front of goal. Or across the goal, should I say. You do not kick the ball across the goal. That was basically that, wasn't it?
And off the back of pressure too, Hutto, it's the skill level of the Adelaide CROWS. They've had 13 kicks in the quarter, going at 85.
I don't even think McNerney's been anywhere near
Riley when he made his debut
previous
round 6,
best
2021, almost unrecognisable.
That's prepubescent, Hutto.
Out of the middle,
depressing.
Rankin.
We can get absolutely trounced.
Again they come, and on the follow, Rankin, it took Heaney to stop him. 7 goals in a row from the Adelaide CROWS. Coming with a soft touch that time. Not quite for Taylor Walker.
So we're giving them all the credit in the world, which they should get. It's a There's a story unfolding about the Sydney Swans team as well.
I know. Richmond bottled it, didn't they? I think that's probably the best phrase to use.
7 goals to
Richmond
on
absolutely
the return bout
bottled
at their home ground.
Grundy broke the deadlock there with a tap down to McInerney. Tough for Lloyd. Peatling from the corner.
Oh, don't! He's touched it. Surely he touched it. He's got to have touched that before it went over the line. Surely.
Was watching as the ball
go to the
made its
camera.
path to the goal line. The defenders
the goal line, and it was touched out.
helplessly could do nothing about it.
He's got to have touched it. He's got to have touched it. Well, there's actually Swan's foot there as well. Only a behind. Nothing more.
Roberts.
Oh, did then Thilthorpe's boot
He's on
come
top
over
of
the
it.
top with the
Yes.
sole of the boot.
But has the ball already gone
Over the
across?
line when his sole goes onto it.
Doesn't help. They both got white
There,
boots
and
on.
then this could be a goal.
When's the next
We've
boot
got the
coming
other,
through? What's
the
wrong
other
with
angle.
Good old
It's
fashioned
too blurry. It's way too blurry.
The other angle from the post.
Oh,
He
I
definitely
can't,
had
you
last
can't
touch.
get that. That's way
Yes,
too
whether it's over the
blurry.
line or not.
They're all watching the big screen here because it's on the big screen.
If he turns and gives us the angle there, oh no, because then you've got McCartan's arms in the way.
Well, his arm's not there on the left of the screen.
No.
Soft calls are behind. Going to work against him potentially.
I think it's a goal.
Surely it's too blurry.
Looking at these angles, we see the ball comes off the bottom of the Adelaide attacker's boot before crossing the back of the goal line. This is
All
on the
about
scoreboard.
soul, Jono. What else
It's
could
soul
go
sapping.
for the Sydney Swans?
Absolutely soul sapping.
Thilthorpe's right.
Oh my God.
The umpire actually asked, did you check touched off the boot? So that wasn't looked at, and the goal umpire did ask for that as well in the review process. They'll check that now on the way back to centre bounce.
So it's Peatling that's wrong.
Yeah, Peatling here, they're saying, was Peatling's ball touched?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because
Yeah, so that
Thilthorpe has kicked the goal.
kicked the goal anyway. That's a great point, Hutto.
I think
Well
Jono's
played.
found his calling there. I think he's got goal review officer written all over him.
Professional.
I think so. I think he summed it up beautifully. Well, two
Just
in a
don't
row
know what
to
to say.
Thilthorpe.
I don't know what to say,
8
guys.
in a row to the Adelaide Crows. 43-point margin. Sydney have kicked a solitary goal, the first goal of the match. It's a bit of a nightmare unfolding here.
This is the 10-minute mark, 80% in their forward half. 10-minute mark of the first quarter.
There's a bit of sit up and take notice of this Adelaide Crows side if you haven't. Unfolding here. This is pressure. This is Collingwood-like pressure that they put on Friday night. They brought the heat.
What do we do? What? How do we fix
Grundy
this?
grabbed it and then didn't know what to do
How
with
the
it.
hell do we fix
Snatched
this?
away by Peatling. What a great acquisition he's been as well.
We are getting smashed. It's
All those
embarrassing.
acquisitions
It
in
is
the
absolutely
off-season.
embarrassing.
They've all played their
Actually,
part.
we've only had 3 attempts at goal.
Comes upended.
It's
Berry
not
found
like
a way
some
to
weeks
get
where we've had
ball just
loads
in
of
the nick
chances
time.
of goal and
Mitchell
just not taken.
copying it next.
No,
Miller
we
up.
are being
Just his
absolutely
kick on the
destroyed.
run. High ball. No one could really jump for it. Bice got the spoil.
Oh,
And now Keys.
This is that curtain, by the way.
we
He's
just
100 and-
second best in
190
every way.
something.
Yep, he is.
He's
Every
197
way.
centimetre wingman at the moment.
Yeah. Recruited as an intercept defender, but they don't need him there at the moment as he finds his feet.
He's playing the role beautifully, hello. Just sitting off the pack. Been able to intercept at times.
McInerney then. Look at that, 19-3, second quarter forward half disposals. Hard to have a disposal when the footy isn't there.
Yeah, well, it's just lived, obviously, in the Adelaide Crows forward half. 8-2 inside 50s in their second quarter.
They haven't taken one mark to Sydney Swans. They can't control the game at all. Adelaide have just been perfect in their execution.
4 of those are intercept marks as well, Jono. So they are bereft of ideas right now, the Sydney Swans.
We literally have no ideas. Just like none. We don't know what to do.
Thilthorpe, more than a match for Grundy when it comes to the second ruck. Was that high? On low bottom, it was. Might be Acker in there for the
I would
Swans.
like Swans to make a comeback too, but it's not happening.
I know it's asking a lot of them, but they've got to try and provide a spark here.
Clean provided a contest. Grundy pretty nimble, below the knees. Warner, as soon as he had it, they had him. Campbell, some quick fire.
As I said, yeah, Swans basically do screw you over in grand finals.
Even to make a contest.
We get so far and then we just decide not to get off the bus.
And once again, like Haywood, yeah, compete, but he can't 2v1. So it's just too easy for the Adelaide Crows defenders at the moment. You can't tell me Rowbottom didn't have more time then to execute something a little bit differently with the kick.
At worst, John, I kick at the grass.
Yep.
Kick it over their head.
Well, they're frazzled at the moment, aren't they? Quick kick smothered. Haywood does get a run at picking it up, but Keane.
That's the 5th intercept mark for the quarter, Hutto. And a quarter in which they barely had the ball in their half of the ground.
On guard in defence, and then little dart into the back pocket to Worrell. Instructed by his teammates to go down the line. Bill Thorpe eyes for it all the way. Pretty clean, just can't quite finish it.
We are looking like Melbourne. We're looking basically like Melbourne like in their first 5 games of the season. Like that is how we're looking, right?
He gives Keane a shove in frustration. Speaking of frustration, Dean Cox employing the John Longmire hand over the mouth technique. Good to see some of those traits are passed on. Still very early days in this game. It's a sullen crowd at the moment. They need something. They need a spark. Worrell. Maybe a flash from Corey Warner.
Cannot see us getting back into this
all the way, but
at all.
Miller seemed undisturbed the whole time.
They're not feeling an enormous amount of pressure either, the Adelaide Crows, when they win possession.
43 points is the margin. Phil Thorpe takes a mark. Pretty cruisy stuff. Into the middle to Key, so great access to the corridor given the circumstances. Hinge was just passing by. Stubbs the kick to Walker. 65 out. He might have just got ahead of himself there, Tex.
Poor decision by Tex. That was a good build-up. Even by Hinge to just pull the kick because of Sydney's representation inside defensive 50. Tex just needed to hold. Wait for the team to come, and he would have been able to hit up a short.
Texas Hold'em, you think?
The problem is we can't even use the excuse of rebuilding. How can we say we're rebuilding? We're in the grand final last year, right? We got what again?
Well read by Dawson, though.
It's their best passage of play right up until the last kick. He had other options, but finally they came through the middle and opened the game up a little bit.
Just giving the ball away.
They're doing everything well.
Simple passes as well.
Those intercept marks now.
Simple passes.
Dawson, of course, spent plenty of time in defence here at the SCG.
It's just
6 games, 5 seasons as a Swan. They knew he was good. I just don't think they knew he was this good. I don't think anyone did. A relatively low draft pick. Popped up by Smith down the line. Dawson almost breaks through. Can't take the mark. McInerney started the chain of hands. McLean down and dirty. Rowbottom. He's got a free kick.
But what can they generate from here, the Swans? The problem is Adelaide, they're so quick in defence at the moment. So they had a couple of players out, the Sydney Swans, but they were rounded up so quickly by the Crows.
Warner to the front, McInerney from the stand start. Now to Corey Warner. Close enough. But not accurate enough. Crowd cheering on something.
I hope that haven't gotten the stage where they're just happy to report a point. I know things are grim, but hope it hasn't got to that stage. It is really hard work right now. Again, Keane sits behind the play here. He's on his own, so they are trying to get one more at around the stoppage, but every time they go in, they're badly outnumbered.
Just 2 marks for the quarter. Saw some of the superstars of yesteryear. As we said, celebrating 2005 tonight. Rowbottom had plenty of grunt around the contest tonight and needed, but they give away a free kick there.
Saw Brucey, he would have worked out what they need to do to change things around.
think he was preoccupied, really.
I don't. The problem is that the thing is, I can look at it and think, well, would it have been any better if
still open for
we
business.
had
Smith.
all our players?
Beautiful. To Walker.
Would it have been any better?
Over the years.
I would like to think it would have.
Fogarty got the skits. Rochelle, O'Brien. Awkward but effective enough.
You know, if we had Papley, for example, and this is just one player, obviously, if we did have players like Papley, then...
Ball stays in there, forward 50.
Talking of amateur umpires, Ben Keys has always been...
Would it have been better? I don't know.
He hasn't always had them go his way, particularly
Not
goal umpiring decisions, it's fair to say. Against this team, famously, a couple of years ago, arguably cost them a spot in the finals. Laddams with the soccer. Berry with the handoff. Curtin, top of the goal square, Rank, and the ball found him. Keys, Campbell.
You can't even mark that. Can't even catch that.
Again, a little mini inverted torp. Fisted away by Hamling.
A good punch away, but...
Neil Bullen. Almost legged. Keys
Little
goes
slip.
down.
Come on.
With the soccer.
Just any sort of sign of...
Not going to be easy from here, so he buys himself
any
some time
sign.
to bounce. And then he kicks it up, hoping that McLean or Blakey... The Lizard was flat out. He was tonguing it there, the Lizard.
But McKean again is just sitting in that hole, so any high ball like that's just manna from heaven for him.
Yeah, here's Keys. Right half forward. Just pops it over the top to Fogarty. And Laddams lets out a bit of frustration.
It's good effort by Laddams. Didn't give up on the chase there with Fogarty, so he was able to create the ball because they looked dangerous on the turnover. The Adelaide Crows. They had numbers out everywhere, transitioned it well. Inside forward 50, just couldn't finish off that last kick.
Ice has eyes on Rankin, who's darting every which way. Instead, it's Keys again to Neil Bullen. Jammed it on the boot. This is Roberts now in the frame.
I don't know. Bear in mind how important Papley is. Papley is incredibly important up front.
The defence of Worrell then. Adams,
but this is just shocking.
He couldn't get boundary side to provide the target. So Worrell...
And like I said, it's really just making me angry because we're not doing anything. We really are not doing anything.
This is the defensive half that don't give anything away.
Oh. Chance in the air. Jordan with the clearing kick. Very high bounce. Sheldrick took it knowing that he was going to be claimed immediately.
How do I get rid of these rings?
Handcuffs went on and there was no key to get him out. Free kick goes to Michael Annie. He usually takes the dangerous smalls. Oh, Hamling had slipped over. Walker still couldn't quite take the mark. Peakling.
Dangerous.
Popped it into the gap. Nice spoil, McInerney on the run. Michael Annie. Smith already has one goal tonight. Keys is not going to give up here. Roberts, steadfast enough. McCartan. Ball slews off the boot. Rochelle. Back to the middle. Walker was waiting. Hamley waiting for him. Rowbottom and Pedler now. Pedler looking for a free and he's going to get it.
That's because of Keys and Rochelle. Keys doesn't give up on the contest in the air. He holds his feet afterwards and able to put pressure on. Rochelle buys in then, of course, because you can see what his teammates doing. Big smother, keep it alive. And now Pedler with an opportunity. Played well last week, Pedler, so second opportunity in a row.
Number 11 pick. It's been a hard road.
Another one here, probably coming in.
Certainly a hard nut, and he's a beautiful kick.
9:57 to Adelaide Crows. I'm in no doubt if you're a Crows fan, you will be very, very happy.
Performance, and we'll give them plenty of credit throughout the course of tonight.
You'll be very, very happy.
Serious football club right now, but we've got to start talking about the Sydney Swans and what they can do. They can't let this just play out the way it's playing out because all over the ground they're being bested, and then the pressure in this half has been absolutely superb. What can they do at half-time? He has to make some changes, Dean Cox. They can't keep going into a forward 50 that's outnumbered like this and get no return. And the back half is really slow at the moment. They're getting no run. Bice is one of their best kicks early in this year. He's had one possession for the game. Not getting any run and carry out of him.
And Nix will be pumped because it's an even contribution across the board. They've had 66 disposals so far in this second term. Highest is 6 with Neil Bullen. Every player is contributing on the ground.
Callum Mills there, skipper, of course, part of the coaching tonight because he's out suspended. Berry breaking clear from Dawson to the top of the goal square.
Just anything.
Just gets away from
I
Fogarty.
would just like anything now,
So
just to lift it.
it's to Fogarty's advantage at least.
You never know. You never know. We can still win
handling.
this.
The ball goes out of
I
place
just
there,
want
but
something.
how dangerous is this for Adelaide?
Just something.
Adams doing his best to hit it to the right spot against O'Brien. Decides he could take it and go. Fumbled it down to Mitchell.
Now my cat is trying to
Rolling
get
around
into
in
a
there for
box.
Keys. Lloyd.
Oh, I scratched my tummy as well.
Neil Bullen. McInerney the wrestle. Now Michael Annie. Clever push that time from McInerney, but the handball's just off the mark, making life more difficult for Lloyd than it needed to be. Adams with the fire handball to the inside. Bice. Triangle handball. Quick kick Lloyd. Jordan in no position to mark. Dawson was, but Hayward was able to deny.
17-4 in the forward half intercept right now. So he's getting a little one in the back of the melon here is Peter Adams. That's not nice on a little fresh evening. Now we can come off with blood, I would imagine. Yeah, well, I'm looking at Blake here. I'm looking at a few of these different players. Maybe throw him forward in the second half. You've got to try something, Jono. You can't be sitting here giving up 9 unanswered goals and not try something.
23 marks to 2. It's unprecedented, isn't it, in this quarter?
Yeah, they've been absolutely dominated.
Oh, they're even the commentators are rubbing it in.
From the likes of Taylor Adams, Will Hayward hasn't had
Problem
a
is we still have 5 minutes
seen
before
much
half
of it.
time.
Corey Warner's
Still
giving them
5
nothing.
minutes
Lloyd's
before
giving them
half-time.
nothing.
Warner, Saligo not far away.
But that's the thing, Gary. Dean Cox did try something with a different forward line, but they haven't had a chance because they haven't had ball and good quality ball come their way to at least see how that would go.
15 inside 50, so they haven't had as much supply as they need, but they're out muscled. I mean, Worrell and Michael Annie, their athletic tools are just treating them with contempt.
Grundy with a bit of nimble footwork to try and bring it back into the contest, but just tapped further Adelaide's way. Blakey, yeah, that was imperfect. Roberts the next to cop it. Dawson releases with a handball to Berry. Close enough to put up another one. There's no stopping the Crows in the SCG.
I now don't think
10 unanswered goals. Doesn't happen all that often. Not
we're
when you
going to
give the
make
first
top
one
8.
up of the night. McLean kicks the first
How
goal.
can we with this
possession again.
performance?
Look at this. It's
Yeah,
just
it gets to a time where you're running out of time to pick up
contest.
those points.
One on the outside. They get it to the
It's
outside.
too easy.
There's no pressure.
Way
goes,
too
hey,
easy.
Where's the pressure here? And he just says, oh, I might as well run an extra 5 metres and kick the goal. That's how easy it is for Adelaide to compute what's going on right now because there ain't no pressure out there. It's unbelievable. When you see this again, the mind going through here for Berry, he's looking around going, how come this is AFL footy? How come I'm not feeling heat when I get this ball inside the forward 50?
It's memories of that smashing the Swans got from Port Adelaide last year. And they're a dominant force.
Well, when there was supposed to be a response, Hutto, this is getting pretty embarrassing.
And it's coming again. Phil Thorpe, take your pick.
Oh, it's never ending. If you're happy to see my misery, guys,
it's just the procession.
Stay with me.
We can look at all of the numbers. The inside 50, 7,
Why
87
did
this
you
quarter.
box?
Everything else, apart from the marks, which are 25-2 for the quarter. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. No. 25-2.
You can see on the screen there, Peter Adams just going down into the rooms. We assume a concussion test.
Rochelle for a second. Adelaide's 11th on the night, 11th in a row. They have no answers whatsoever.
I want to cry. Can I cry? Is it weird if I cry on screen?
Different ways as well. Gary, initially it was off turnover in the first quarter. Now we're seeing goals from stoppage. Their last 2
Like, this is shocking, right? This is embarrassing.
To O'Brien playing in front, Thilthorpe. So perfect in terms of what they're able to do, and Rochelle just cruises into space.
5 goals from stoppage, 6 goals from turnover.
Well,
it's a pretty handy profile.
Not bad.
I wonder if I can get my camera to show.
This is getting into the territory of like real damage for the Sydney Swans Footy Club. That's where it's getting into.
Adelaide
have just treating them like
now running a 3D printer
as a reserve side right now.
So it means I have loads of
long-term
boxes.
ramifications for a side that played off for the Premiership last year.
My cardboard bin is currently.
Time for one of their stars to lift. Warner takes it inside.
Yeah, my bin is currently.
Every time it has got there,
so I've got a few boxes. Those are
been able to capture it. Send it back again.
Throw Mike Lanny into that mix as well, Hutto. Their backline's just...
Hi Jeff. Hello mate. This is, yeah, it's been a while. It is not great, to put it bluntly. It is not great. We are 9-63 down. This is painful. I want to go back to bed now. Just to forget about it.
Thorpe is deep. Kick was a three-quarter number
at the moment, Scruffy is looking like the worst situation for us, isn't it?
Ready for a chance like Isaac coming onto the boot.
There's another one. Wow.
This is unbelievable.
They can't miss, Hutto. Nah. 7 goals straight for the quarter from 18 inside 50s, and they're all just cashing in now. Gary, this has been just a brilliant display by the Adelaide Crows. It's strong and it's powerful and it's disciplined, which I've loved in this first half as well. Look at Keys again. He's the one who sets the tone. Without him, they don't score that.
Yeah, Ben Keys is the man. You're right. Look at this. This is what they've done the whole game. No room. As soon as he gets the ball, you got a man on you. And they've now kicked, did you say it's 12 unanswered goals?
Yep.
This is a belting that, well, that Sydney did get opened up by Port Adelaide. I didn't call that. I haven't seen them humiliated like this, the Swans, on their home deck.
This is on their home deck. That's the difference. Rankin with a handoff to Pete Ling, who's toppled over. Umpire lets them fight it out a little longer, and then that's where the Liberties ran out. Free kick goes to Warner, who's doing his best to try and lift them out of the middle.
75-9.
So how do they go forward? They've got one tall at the moment, inside forward 50.
Yeah, it's not even half time yet.
Until half time.
It's not even half time.
McLean was a step short. He came hard off the pack. Campbell back to Heaney. He suffered from lack of access to the footy. Adams fires out to Sheldrick.
Don't know what to say. This is a difficult.
They actually are.
Of course, Jeff. Of course.
I mean, as a player,
I don't forget people. Unless I try to forget people.
Yeah, it's hard to cop in this proud club.
But they are copping it. That's the thing.
Surely, surely
there
are not going to be. It's not going to be as busy a stadium as it started off. It wasn't ridiculously busy anyway, but surely there are going to be Swans fans leaving the stadium early.
Put 60 on it. Out to Curtin.
He's developing. This is the Adelaide Crow positives, and there's plenty of them tonight. He's demonstrating that he can play on the wing.
A little low and a little wide.
There are events and results within a season that resonate for lots of different reasons. This is one of those games right now. On the positives for Adelaide, who have been absolutely outstanding and have rubber-stamped their top 4 standing. But the Sydney Swans are a story here.
And not a happy story. Off the pack, Warner, McLean, Lloyd. Keane, he's going to get it again.
Oh, and that's 50.
Probably.
That will be 50. That's frustration from Taylor Adams, and he's trying to get a double.
That is
if it was half time,
off opposition boot,
I would be laying into these players big time. They would get the hairdryer treatment, as we say over here, due to Alex Ferguson.
It's going well.
You know what I mean? It's a positive. It's a huge positive.
Yeah.
Still a minute to kick another one.
Just didn't get any depth on the kick, unfortunately. Brodie Grundy set himself in the perfect spot. O'Brien was well behind it.
They're clapping the marks as well because they're such rarities in this second quarter. They've added a chain of 3 up there. Mitchell. The man from Yarrawonga out to the wing. McInerney is the meat and the Crows sandwich there. Again, a pretty easy pluck from big Riley O'Brien.
He's been told by the bench just not long to go, long down the line.
Kicks it back to his direct opponent.
You have to put him closer to the boundary line.
They might have a little waxing agreement, who knows. Grundy goes for a bit of a gallop and puts the switch on late. Too late.
And that's half time.
Well, what a quarter and what a half.
I do not know what to say.
They put up 12
do
goals,
not know what to say.
Cox has a massive headache. His Sydney Swans, on a night when they're celebrating past triumphs,
Embarrassing. It is truly embarrassing.
1 goal. Yes, the Sydney Swans in a half of football, just 1 goal for, and they trail by 65 points. The Crows 12 goals in a row. The Swans
like Crows have basically scored what happens sometimes in an actual full game.
7 attempts here at
that's how much they've scored. And we have absolutely no answers. They shouldn't be high-fiving each other. It's an absolute disgrace. Absolute embarrassment. 10-75. Like, and now they're going to rub it in by bloody speaking to all the players. I don't know. What do I say? If anyone can help me in the comments, please. Because I am not happy. Not happy at all. Please, I'm begging you, help me in this conversation, guys. Please. Now I'm cold because of this fan here. Not happy, Jan. Incorrect. Correct. That advert really hits now, doesn't it? This is what it's like to be a West Coast fan. Or a North fan. That is what it's like, isn't it? Just right. If you're watching this and you do not have YouTube Premium, you may get an advert. Okay, it is coming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you do have YouTube Premium, then welcome. Thank you for staying with me. I just don't know what to say. It's disaster. Absolute disaster. It's one of those things though, you wonder, would it be any different if, as I said, if we had our players? If we still had all our players? That's the question. And I don't know the answer. I really don't know. You would think it would be better. I would like to think if we had Papley and co, you know, we'd have 8 more points on the board. Don't know. I don't think Crows. This seems silly. This might seem silly, but I don't actually think Crows have done much. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they've been anything special, but they've just been allowed so much time, so much space that they've been able to dominate. They really, really have. Give me a second. I'm just going to check out my 3D print. Like I said, I've got a new 3D printing business. Would anyone like to see what I've been making? I sell things on eBay now. I'm making some money from that. We've got a car boot sale tomorrow, which I'm going to try and sell some stuff, which is why I'm rapidly printing stuff. Might need a second printer. I'll show some people, as the football is crap and it's half time. So give me a second. That is printing, very nice. Very nice. Okay. First thing I've been printing, this is for the car boot sale tomorrow. But I want to see if I can sell stuff. We have got a selection of key rings. There you go. So the first thing I printed for this car boot sale was the Stanley Cups. Okay, Stanley Cups. How cool are they? And they unscrew. Nope. They unscrew, and you can put lip balm in that. You put lip balm in. That's quite cool. And then I did them in a few different colours because they're very trendy apparently. I don't know why, but they are very trendy. I've got some love heart key rings, some nice knitted style love heart key rings. It's quite nice for girls. And then I got the Lego hearts. There you go, some Lego hearts that can click together. Okay, click together to make a heart. Exciting. What else have I got? I'll show you some of my dragons, shall I? Hang on, stand by. Apparently dragons are quite popular, so I've got some flexible dragons. That's a diamond one. Quite cool. Apparently. I don't think I'd want them, but they are quite popular apparently. Oh my gosh. Just my black one. Demon one. Anyway. Mate, don't get me started, Peter. It is too hot. It is warm. It is very warm. It is 24 degrees. There we go. I have a Therm Pro. It is 24 bloody degrees. Oh. This is quite, and 55%. That was about 59% humidity. Mate, it's too hot. The metal keyring part, I hate. They tear off my fingernails when they try and separate them. Oh, it is annoying when you have to get your fingernails in. But yeah, no, I've been selling. So because I do bowls, I've sold a lot on eBay of bowls wedges. I've sold a lot of bowls wedges on eBay. So these are what I based them on. So these are rubber. And then the moon-shaped ones. But I've done them in colour. So I've got like yellow, purple. And I'm selling them for less than the others on eBay. Making a decent profit. And oh, brilliant. It is awful. It is awful. That's what it is, Taylor. It's like I'm watching Saints playing, isn't it? And whether you want to think it's Saints as in the football team or Saints as in the AFL team, about the same. Yeah, help me out, guys, in this because it is painful. It is painful. So if anyone's got any questions, see 19. I'll take 19. 19's all right. 19 is a lovely temperature.
You could say that future AFL stars are made by fans like us. You totally could. This bloke does not miss.
Kiwi, official partner of footy fans.
Big Cox seems out of his depth. He does. It does seem like he... The problem is I said the same thing about Longmire. I said the same thing about Longmire where he didn't have a plan B. He didn't have a backup plan. But it seems like neither does Dean Cox. It really doesn't seem like he does either. You know, there's like we're 10-75 down. We are not winning this game unless a miracle happens, and I don't believe in miracles. I know, Peter. Well, you say that, Peter. We did get promoted last year, so I actually think with Southampton, it's better to get relegated. I've got no problem with Saints being relegated because what you do is you lose in the Premier League and then you try and win in the Championship. At least you get some joy and happiness. It's better than trying to keep off relegation every year and just surviving and then not actually playing for anything. So no, I don't mind Saints being relegated. I don't mind it as long as we then obviously finish top 2 or at least the playoffs next year. There's always a risk, right? But we do have the money, and as long as you spend it right. We got Will Still, the young guy that basically did well on Football Manager. Yeah, you get money because of the basically the wage gaps and things that you get. So you do get support. So there's no reason why we can't come back up. I need to go get a snack. I'm going to go get a snack. I don't know what I've got, but I'm going to get a snack. So I'll be back in 2 secs. Have an advert. Boom. Hi, New Falconer. Custard slice, Pepsi, strawberries and cream. I don't even like Pepsi, but I want easy to have a can. Oh. I'd like some lift. It would be funny if we could bring it back slightly. I think this would be one of the biggest comebacks, wouldn't it? There's Barry Hall. Isn't it funny though? It's quite funny because have you ever seen the pictures of like prime ministers and stuff before they got became Prime Minister, and then after they became Prime Minister. And like, they all look so much older and greyer and stressed. Also, is this not even more of a kick in the teeth, right? Where they're talking to, you know, these players like Barry Hall and all that, while we're being smashed 10-75. I bet these guys are like, what the hell is going on? Bad timing to have all these stars. Everything. Like, all these ex-Swans players, they must just be thinking, what is going on? How's the rugby league going on? That's the question. Let's have a look. I wish I was watching rugby league now. Oh Jesus, man, they are beating Broncos easily. You know, I probably went Broncos. That's going to be my first loss, isn't it? That's going to be my first loss this week in NRL. I did Broncos by 6. Ow, bugger. It's like I'm being trolled. Yeah. Honestly, it is shocking, isn't it? It is shocking how, you know, how old these people in sort of, who are in sort of higher up roles in charge of people, just go downhill. This is some awful acting. The old woman that does the AFL stuff, that is shocking acting for an advert for the LGTV. Thank you very much, Ghost Hunter. Like, I would say the same. Even in the 2022 grand final, we were better then, and we got absolutely destroyed. Even then, mate, it was going better than this. And I said it's only half time. Like, what does Dean Cox say to his team other than sort your effing shit out? Don't know. The AFL. Right. Players are back out for the second half of misery.
150 games the Sydney Swans have played at the SCG, and COVID
Swans
season
do
aside,
have
this
a
is their
habit
lowest
of
half-time
having
score
some
ever.
games where
One
we have
goal,
just
4-10
right?
against Port Adelaide last year on the road. They managed 1 goal, 3-9,
If
by the way.
if Adelaide
This is
don't
what
finish,
it's done from a damage point of view. The Sydney Swans started the
I
night with a
can
percentage of
certainly see
93. It's gone
Crows
down
getting
to
over 100
87.
in this
The Adelaide
third quarter.
Crows has now got the best percentage in the competition. It started
But that
at 130.
kills us, man.
It's
That
inflated on
kills
the
us
back of
down
12
from
goals to
14
to
87.4%.
137.8. So it's
Not good.
already made significant
Not
progress.
good at the moment.
Apart from the 4 points that seem certain to come
There's
their
no
way.
reason, there's no reason why Crows
Significant
can't
news
finish
everywhere.
on over
Don't make no
135.
mistake about that. This is
No reason at all why they
this
can't
is
do
an
that.
incredible half of footy. It'll be interesting to see the response.
We won't have to wait any longer for it. O'Brien taps it down. Neil Bullen stunted. Good tackle. Good start from Roberts.
Chad Warner started at full forward, out of the goal square.
He's got a run at this, and he almost got there. Bounced just in front. Butts, Worrell. Everyone waiting on the bounce. Curtin.
Sub activated too. Riley Bice has got the subs vest on. It's a tactical move, we're told. And Cleary into the game.
A tactical move, yeah. Well, anything has to be a tactical move.
O'Brien prevails with a tap down. There is Cleary. Straight into the thick of it. They need a lift from their stars. But Heaney's inaccuracy, as we saw here a couple of weeks ago against Carlton,
Like, you can't be
continues.
shoving, like, Heaney's now, Heaney misses, and now he starts shoving players. You think, that's embarrassing, mate. You've just missed a chance at goal. You can't now be pushing players. It's embarrassing. Like, you have failed, and you start on the other team. Like, why would you do that?
Crowded
It
out
makes you
again.
look
Keane
silly.
disorientated for a moment. Miller up against the post, and he knew exactly what was going to happen.
Mind you, the temptation to peel the paint off the ball
I was going to say
would have been reasonably strong. If he hasn't already, as Adam Simpson says, you might have 5 or 6 that you can go to for the year where you would be forgiven if you had got one off at half time. But the response needs to come.
They need something, and it's got to start with
the
a goal.
response needs to come.
Heaney had a shot and missed. Warner has a shot, and that's touched on the line.
Touched on the line.
And
I've got a VAR. Go to them on a double check.
Can they maintain
Was it
that
actually
sort of
a
range?
touch?
That is the
I don't know.
question now.
Confirmed
It's
on this
asking a
side.
lot. Their pressure was just off the charts. Can Matthew Nicks get that out of them for another half a footy?
Wilson waited for the
I would
right
say that
moment.
is already 2 more opportunities
Off
at
the
goal.
hinge.
This
To half forward they come.
this
Equal
half
numbers in the contest.
in the first
Blake
minute
at
and
the
a
back.
half. And that
And
is
the
better
motor
than we've done all
running,
game,
things
although
up
it's
from
2
half
behind.
back. 2 bounces. Wants a third. Takes
Come
a
on,
third.
Lizard.
Kicks to half forward. Campbell at the back.
Nope.
Footy at the
Round the
back.
back of him.
McLean in the goal square.
Another behind.
Where it matters most.
Oh,
Better though.
it's looking better. Only problem is 3 points from 3 goal scored opportunities. We now got 7 behind. 7 behind, man.
On the back of some Blakey there and some run. So pride of this group has to have been pricked in this first half.
I hope you guys,
Keen, all things
whether
considered,
wherever you are,
drives out
sitting at
on the
home
logo
or
line.
wherever,
Carlton almost takes the mark.
hope you
Fancy
feel
hands
sorry
from
for
Sheldrick.
me.
Ramping, they're coming in
Feel sorry
again.
for me.
Cleary fighting hard.
Been all the
carries
way,
it.
halfway around the
Butts
world,
up against
having
the
to
line.
suffer
It's his turn to
this.
submit.
So they've started, John.
And now that I've started a live stream, I can't even really stop it, can I?
They're getting some good looks all of a sudden.
Keep
Now they've just got to
watching.
complete the play. 4 to zip inside 50.
They need early reward.
Ruck's form up. Yeah, short throw in, tap down Grundy. Hard to get out of there for Hinge.
We
What do
are
you think
still in the
happened at
pros
half-time,
50
John?
though,
Do
so
you
that's a
think the
positive.
coach, what's he turned to?
I think he would have had to have had a red hot go at them. I can't see any other answer to that.
Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said at half time. What does Longmire what does Dean Cox do? He's got to absolutely berate
things the last few weeks. Pressure's been okay and bits and pieces, but that first half.
People want to moan about bloody,
we've seen from
footballers and their overpriced prima donnas.
Kicks back
Come
to the
on.
wing.
Come on, look at this.
Knocked out of Neil Bullen's hand. They really have
They
upped the energy
deserve
stakes.
to be
Win
absolutely
it back at
rinsed.
least. Roberts, quick fire kick down the line.
So it's an interesting one, Gary, isn't it, in the change rooms, because you can have a go, but then you've got to still structure something up. So you've got to be honest in your appraisal, and it may be strong, but then you've got to settle back, take a breath,
I think the only
approach
thing we can do now
what you
is
need
just,
from your
we're not going to win.
direct players.
It'd be an amazing miracle if we do win, but we've got to just reduce the goal difference, don't we? That's the only thing
On a
I think
night
we
celebrating the Bloods
can
culture.
do. Reduce the goal difference
Grundy to
just in
Heaney.
case we can
Sky
try
ball
and make top
again.
8
McLean
still.
worried
This
about
is
his
still
opponent.
sort
Good
of
fly.
good.
At the back
Ah!
is Hayward, and that's where
Oh, we
it starts
scored!
here, and it starts there.
We
It
scored!
starts with Will Hayward.
Now we celebrate the small wins. Like these fans are just being sarcastic, aren't they? Look at them high five. It's just sarcastic cheers now.
Hayward kicks the goal, they came from everywhere, Hutto.
And now the crowd are cheering goals.
Mate, as a Richmond supporter, I feel sorry for you, mate.
Right here. Have you given
That
up
was
on the
shocking,
game,
isn't
or
it?
you
That was
give it
absolutely shocking.
still
I feel kind of bad for you, but then kind of funny as well.
The start to this quarter, 5
Richmond
inside
should
50,
not have lost
the
that
goal
game.
comes, and then you watch
And
and
they
see what's the
absolutely blew
reaction.
it.
And they came from everywhere, Jono. So
We're back in the game. We're back in the game.
in rebuilding some of this lost. God, they lost some credibility as a footy club.
Right,
in that
let's
first
get
half,
like
and then
5
now
goals
you've
in a
got to
row
claw your
now.
way
Let's
back.
just.
That would have been the message.
This would be hilarious. Imagine
Our
now.
fans are cheering points. Like that's enough to
It
hit
won't
the player
happen,
and go, wow,
okay?
we've got to respond.
It won't
to this.
happen. Just imagine now.
And they have. That's a good
Swans
start.
going, maybe score 5 in a row.
Adelaide now become really interesting.
Last quarter, a little
Came from
tease.
their leading goal kicker, Will Hayward. Out of the middle, Grundy the tap. Further for the ball. Rochelle getting some opportunities in the midfield.
Hi,
He might
Callum.
get more.
Hello, mate.
Crows running into each other. I won't mind that too much. Cumming gets it away to half forward. Hamling right where he should be against Walker.
Only, when I say they're interesting, only in as much as human nature says we don't see many games with 24 goals to 2. That just doesn't happen, right? Even though there have been dominant teams over the journey. So where's their minds at now? What do they hope to get out of this second half?
Swans are back in it, guys. Swans are back in it, aren't they?
Again, the ruck. So
It's all
preoccupied with
Swans
each other.
now. It's our game to
Coming on that
lose.
occasion. And working Walker over in the goal square with a bit of push and shove.
Let's
Off the
go,
ground goes
Sydney.
O'Brien. Heaney.
Let's go, Sydney.
Again, wrapped him up. Awkward for Hamling.
Red and white army. Red and white army. See, look, we're only letting them have signs now.
Josh Rochelle.
Isaac Heaney, Sydney goal machine. La la
Still
la
ready
la
to
la
line.
la
5 last
la
week,
la.
as we mentioned.
He stands at just over 5 foot. No, stands at just over 6'3". Isaac.
McInerney.
He gets the.
Took 9 marks, Hutto.
It takes us to the
Second
Premiership.
quarter
Isaac.
total.
Isaac.
So
He gets the ball. He takes the
control
piss.
the football a little bit more here.
They'll have 9 in a jiffy,
I
won't
can't
they?
remember my own
One
lyrics
like
with
this.
that.
Let's try and draw Adelaide up a little bit.
Malikan. Pokey ball for Sheldrick. Claimed a regular spot over the last month or so. Long down the line. Hayward flies with intent. Matched by Worrell.
Peter, you
Heaney
do
was
know I'm
part of it, so was
35.
Lloyd and
I'm
Saligo.
not really
Enjoy
young.
watching Worrell play.
Yeah, I am
Enjoy watching
35.
Michael Annie play. Curtin's getting there as well. These are rangy sixes in the old and just athletic. Play tall, can play
Sydney,
Really
Sydney,
good back half going
Sydney, Sydney, Sydney.
Not sure there was a ruck hand to that either.
Songs are coming.
Gee, Malikan breaks through. I haven't said that too many times over the years. So everyone has the license to show a bit and give a bit.
I suspect that
just
would be the message too, Hutto.
ChatGPT.
Doesn't matter whether you're a Dower back pocket or a
Create
Dower full back. You've got to help get this
song
side out of where they're at.
Sydney Swans playing
Grundy
awful,
tried to swipe it.
but we
Adams,
are still cheering
Sheldrick.
for them.
Cleary.
Let's see what ChatGPT
Sheldrick.
comes up with.
Miller up. Sock it away, and that'll be insufficient.
All the Swans took to the field with a wobble and a fumble, missed every mark, and we started to grumble. Kicks went wide, the goal went begging, even the coach looked like he was legging. But we're still cheering loud and proud, red and white, we shout it loud. Win or lose, we stand as one, so flying high with Sydney Swans. Handball shaky, bench asleep. Or the other mob ran way too deep, but we sang on through the pain and shame, because real fans never quit the game. Yeah, we're still cheering loud and proud, red and white, we shout it loud. Through the clangers, drops and yawns, with bleeding love for the Sydney Swans. So here's to the boys, don't hang your heads, we'll back until season's dead. Might have played like ducks in a thunderstorm, but we still love you in any form.
Had to square it in amongst three Sydney players.
That is depressing.
Rankin's time has expired. Drives it to Thilthorpe.
Yeah, I was in school then. 95, mate, I was in school. That was year 1 or 2. There you go.
Swans still with the only goal of the third quarter.
Yeah, there you go. We're the only team with a goal this quarter.
Brian eyes for it all the way. It was in prime position. Smith. Grundy. Didn't really have a friendly face to get the handball off to. So ball up. Reminder Sydney have won the last 6 games against the Adelaide Crows. That looks like changing tonight. Swans having a crack though at the start of the third. Saliga maybe cocked one high. That was the please, and suddenly the opposite pleas were made. Well, if it's not too high, how about holding the ball? Instead, the umpire goes for somewhere in the middle. McInerney.
Come on, McInerney.
Forward again
ball
for the
Swans.
Up.
Ball up to the 50. Outside the 50. Punched away.
Was well guided down to Pedler, back through the traffic.
Oh, good tackle. Soccer in it, as he says. Come on. Come on. Isaac Heaney. Isaac Heaney. In you go. Oh, we're back in the game. We're back in the game. Oh, we've got them. We've got them now. We were just leading them to a false sense of security. That's all it was. That is all it was. False sense of security for them. The Crows are going to get gobbled up by the Swans.
That was keen. Yeah, but cleaning that up. Look, along the ground, Heaney v Butts. That's it. Where do you want the ball? Spot on. So it works. Just put it into grass. So they look like they've changed jumpers. That's what's happened. And if you just wanted in here, you'd go, God, Swans are absolutely killing them. So they're 8-2 clearances. Their contested ball numbers through the roof. The inside 50s are 8-2. It's just a completely different mindset that they've come out with. And how much of that is Adelaide just taking their foot off slightly, I don't know. But they've started this in the manner that you would hope.
Look, we're only 51 points behind now. Are you ready for the comeback of the century?
Swans, though, a little bit of momentum. Spirit for the first time in the game. Neil Bullen sinks to slip up. Crows go forward in front.
Okay, well, we didn't want that to happen. We didn't want them to.
That was excellent from Tex. He paused on his lead, put the big arm back, stopped Hamling, and then went forward again to take the mark. He controlled the space of where the ball was going to drop brilliantly. Used all his experience.
18 goals, 11 in his 10 games, subbed off twice, missed last week, so he's being managed. He'll have to play every home and away game from here to make it to 300 by the end of the season, which is his desire.
Okay, well, we didn't want that. The comeback might not be on there. That was a bit of a kick in the teeth. We were literally going for loads of goals now, and then the comeback is now ruined.
Bunnings build up to that Adelaide goal. The first of the third quarter.
So did you say he's going to play every home and away game?
Even if we lost by less than,
if we lost by 20,
so
even
they play
then,
a final. He'll play at least one.
Yes, I think they'll probably give him another rest.
He'll get one more spell, you would think. Touch wood that he can stay sound. This is what he's been doing for a long, long time.
It is a shame that they.
And he'd be excited about what this side's producing right now.
He was the only player playing tonight from that 2017 grand final. And 300 games is amazing. I mean, his career was pretty much deemed over around that COVID time when he was really struggling and the Crows were in the rebuild. But he got himself super fit and he's been incredible since then, really. He had the serious knee injury way back when. Laddams Back to Rowbottom. It'll give to Taylor Adams. Back into the middle. Now they can go forward. Rampy to Sheldrick.
Come on. Come on, let's push.
Climbing. Neil Bullen. Michaelini. Quick glance out to this near side. Kicks to a one-on-one contest. Curtin knew the right time to spoil.
Come on, Sydney.
Swans had the scouts.
Oh, slipped. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Lose your footing.
That's unfortunate.
Skates on in the end.
That is
So
unfortunate.
they've got a fair workload, Isaac Heaney and Chad Warner. They're playing basically centre, changing full forward.
Very unfortunate.
Curtin. Saligo, his turn to not have much traction.
As they in England,
it's gone now.
Does that mean, as they say in England, they're having a laugh? Yeah, you would say that. You're having a laugh. As in, are you taking the piss? Whoa! Why did we not do this sooner? Why did we not play like this sooner? We're more, I don't know, we're not necessarily more direct, but we're finding a lot more space. I just wish we did this sooner, before the game was completely out of reach.
Instead of just flowing forward and letting his teammate do it, he comes back to support. So therefore he gets the handball received and he's able to hit up McLean.
Well, he was the lone goal kicker in the first half. Yes, they kicked just
another good kick, isn't it?
In the first half, you wouldn't recognise that now.
This is ridiculous.
Quickly they moved.
We're playing so much better this half. Like, so much better. But where was this when we needed it?
Maybe it was the side of those Premiership heroes at half-time.
Where was it when we needed it?
It would have to, give you a
That's
slight,
the thing,
this is what
isn't
I
it?
like. It's coming by a ground ball.
Oh, my
so
God.
win the ball at ground. Those footies early in the piece are being kicked high into the half-forward line, getting out-marked and being rebounded. Now the ball
When
is
is
coming
Gordon
in
back?
dirty. That's fine. Win the ball at ground and then find your target ahead of the ball.
We look at
When you set up that way as a forward line.
I'll tell you. I'm sure it was quite soon. Because at the start of the video I checked.
Forward, 5 smalls and mediums. Yet they played as if they had 5 tools in the first half.
Gordon,
Now
3
they're
to 4
going dirty,
weeks, okay,
ground
not
ball,
quite soon
and
enough.
it's working.
15-9,
Gordon's back there.
ground ball
Tom
advantage.
Papley's back 3 to 4 weeks as well, so that could be a big boost. If Aaron Gordon and Papley back at the same time, that's a big boost.
Handling that time in position to spoil.
So yeah, the problem is we need to kind of just ride the wave. Not ride the wave. That's not the right thing, is it?
It also means that Adelaide have got to change things around. When you've got Warner and Heaney playing out the goal square, it means that their nominal full back, Bart's has to find
just got to
another.
get through this difficult
They've got to get to work at clearance. They're 10-4 down.
Don't, Peter, Mandy screwed me. I was literally 3 for 3 until Mandy beat Broncos. Broncos have fallen apart in the league. They've really fallen apart.
Suddenly they're at half forward again. Michaelini got the line of the football. Got through Warner. And help in Smith. But suddenly each kick and disposal is a bit more pressured and there's not as many easy options down the line. And the ball's starting to bounce their way. Rampy fires it into the pocket. Campbell accepts it gleefully. And we'll go back and have a shot.
Well, this is the best. I'm a Swans fan.
Great call,
I hate Real Madrid, odd name. I'm a Swans fan, so of course I would choose to watch this event. Plus, it's the best time for me.
You can't get an easy out like they had in that first quarter where they
And then
took
I
their
didn't have to
time
get
and
up
could
stupid
just pick
o'clock
the
in the
eyes
morning.
out of it. Pressure came.
I would have
ball
quite liked to
goes
watch the
one-on-one,
junior rest
and
game.
Rampy wins it, and here's the shot.
As in live.
It's a beautiful kick of the football.
Come on.
2 behind so
Another
far
one.
tonight. It's
Another
time to
one.
kick straight.
Why did we not do this sooner?
What a
Why did we not do this sooner, for Christ's sake? We got time. We got time. We can win this. They're giving us false hope.
I wasn't going to say it, Gary,
But this is it. Look, there's that.
It's ridiculous. Press in. Look at this. Press in. Making it tougher for Crows. Alright, the ball bounced quite well. Finding space now in the Crows 50. Yeah, I do sometimes have a habit of streaming the bad games, to be fair. I hate Real Madrid. You need to change your name. Such a rubbish name for YouTube.
But 7 shots. That's the thing. 7 shots, 11 inside 50s, 11 shots.
Why did we not do this sooner,
They've been able
man?
to turn things around significantly here, the Sydney Swans.
It still looks crap.
Still a big
Don't get me
game.
wrong, 37-82 still looks crap. But find a little bit of momentum, maybe.
30, 25, 30, three-quarter time.
And you never know.
Under 6 goals would give them at least an outside chance. Neil Bullen, the outside of the boot. Oh, Walker, was he taken high? Yes, he was.
Oh, fuck off.
Advantage is clear and open. That hurts the comeback, but
For God's
fine
sake.
goal for Fogarty.
Well,
Oh, it's nice, isn't it? It's two
probably
goals
it's like
in this
2
quarter
for us, 1
direct
for
from
them.
centre
2
bounce.
for us, 1 for them. But that ain't
That's
enough,
what
is
they've
it?
been able to get
You
one
can't, you know.
to Taylor Walker. They get this one out
That does not work
as
for
well.
us.
And it's just a big, deep kick inside forward. 50, Tex loves it. He's held. Free kick against. Walker
Tex
just
can
runs
bugger
on.
off.
It felt like the delayed whistle, it just affected the Swans defence.
Yeah, but McCartan just clips legs with Fogarty as well, and that gives him the gap.
Almost
with
pulled
Walker
his ear
actually
off.
just gets in there.
But that ain't good for him, is it?
Trying hard to keep interest in the game when you trail by so much that it doesn't take much, doesn't open back up. But
No.
Taylor and Fogarty, 2 key forwards, been able to hit the scoreboard, getting a more competitive game. That's what's I guess most important. 3 goals.
Don't give up yet, Gaz. Back in the middle. Adams to the outside. Here's Pedler. Adams again. Spread-eagled on the wing. No whistle. Cleary. Millerer. Dawson. Out towards the line. Fogarty will win it, but can't do much with it.
So 5 forward half intercepts the Swans had for the half, the entire half. And we're 10, 15 minutes into this, we've had 5 already.
Yep. 6 now.
37-88.
Margin 51.
The comeback is
Adams get
not
displaced.
really
He
there,
cut
is
the
it?
Falcon on the head. It's a free against him.
No, it's a free kick to Sam Berry.
Okay.
So it was held when he was exiting that clearance.
Berry from the wing. Have to be really patient to get his opportunity. Long driving ball. Lloyd trapped by Rankin, not worthy
Stop
of a
him,
free.
stop him, stop him, stop.
Little wobbly number.
Woo-hoo.
Rampy up against the line. He had the help he needed. McLean got a little shove from Butts.
And then we clear it and give it away.
Now didn't have a clear passage to the footy. Jordan Butts. Just short of the goal square. O'Brien flew, so did Laddams. Mitchell, awkward getting rid of it. Pedler. Rankin.
Stop Rankin! Stop him!
Stop
Stop him!
He set them up.
But
And Neil Bullen.
the comeback's
put
gone,
him down.
guys. I think the comeback is
You
gone.
just marvel at the man.
Yeah, the comeback is
And
officially
don't they get
gone.
around him here for a bit of magic? And this is, I think
Yeah,
it's a really good challenge
yeah,
for Adelaide
15
right now, and
for
they're
4 is
answering the
very,
challenge. So
very
they've
good,
given
isn't it? That is.
4 of the first 5 goals of this third
Crows
quarter,
would
and they've
not
got a
want
decision
anything
to
more
make.
than
We're
that,
going to
would
make
they?
this
They
just
wouldn't need anything more
harder
than
than
that.
it need
Very,
be.
very
No,
accurate
let's
kicking.
just put
And
our
that's
foot
a
down,
fair
go back
point.
to
It's
work
a fair
again.
point.
And
You know,
in
Crows
amongst it, we'll
have
litter it
taken their
with magic.
chances. They've
We'll
had plenty
just
of
sprinkle
time.
the magic dust
But
every
they
now and
have
then, and
taken their
Isaac Rankin
chances
says, well,
really,
let me
really
go
well.
first.
So
And he
fair
sets
play
this
to
one
them,
up. But
but
they've got back to work a bit here, the
yeah,
Adelaide Crows, which you've got to admire. And they may just get this back on their terms in a big way here.
They all knew who to go to, didn't they? Neil Bullen kicked the goal, but all applauded for Isaac Rankin.
Isaac Rankin
What a
is
player
playing quite well
to
today.
watch. What a player to play
You
with.
got to give him it. You got to give him his
Half
juice.
time you'd be like a
From
spectator.
a nice
the other
goal,
half,
give
you're
players their
hoping he
dues.
might give you something like that. Back
I
out
think
to
we've
57
helped
points
them.
now.
But Isaac Rankin is doing well.
Sheldrick, another quick entry, well trapped
Just
by
wish he
Miller.
wasn't.
To coming as they pop their course on the way out. Neil Bullen again.
This is
Sorry.
not in position.
Sorry,
Hello,
you're
leading position winner on the ground for a high half forward. It's a pretty good job. Not his best kick.
Warner, courage to have a bounce up, taking it from Heaney. Highest of balls, suited McLean. Sheldrick hit it at full pace, put the brakes on, turns back, and Rowbottom is spoiled by Berry.
A good spoil by
Now
Berry,
the
to be
scramble,
fair.
Pedler. Back out to the wing. Walker, his turn just to wait, and he knows how to. There he is again, Neil Bullen.
Good
Grundy, bit of
tackle.
tackling practice.
Good tackle.
Yes, he's a great tackle. But what the work rate from Neil Bullen was just off the charts. He was up and back, up and back. But the big fella got down and got dirty.
Down to Roberts, made that more difficult. The play on call. Pedler. So it's being played largely in Adelaide's front half for now. Fogarty just beyond him here. Rankin, you never know what he might do next, especially in this sort of move.
Angling to... No. Smart move.
He's passing tonight.
Smart move, because what he did, he came back off the mark, but just crept a little bit to his right side. So it gave him space.
And back far enough so the kick would count as a mark.
That's right.
And it went about 12 metres, but that doesn't matter.
Probably could have been called to play on. But
It's a good one to show what you can do if you're smart enough. And now he's got 50 metres.
Oh, Cleary.
We've just given another 50 metres away.
50 metres, just what you don't
Another
need to
one.
It's hard enough already.
Like, there's no excuse for
Third
this.
50-metre penalty.
Well, you're just giving a free 6 points away.
Jordan Dawson.
It's not acceptable.
Pulling up the socks.
Not acceptable.
And bringing up the 100 at the SCG.
Not acceptable.
So we'll have a look at it again. Hopefully we'll have a look at the Rankin decision.
Now the connection between the coach and the captain. This is Matthew Nicks, 175 games with the Swans. He played 9 in that premiership year. And you'd expect the defenders to spoil better than that. Come on, Johnson. And here's Jordan Dawson, 56 games in 5 years. 64, in fact, for the Sydney Swans. Number 34.
Did you hear what Brad just said?
No, I didn't say anything, Gary.
He said he kicked 6 that night. This is really, I think this is really impressive. Matthew Nicks would rightfully be
Crows
going,
are on
4 or 5
the 100
given up
apparently.
here. I think he'd be just as satisfied with these last 3 goals and the counterpunch that they're delivering.
16-4 though, how good is that? That's accuracy at its best.
Some of you may be enjoying my misery.
The flow,
I did try and celebrate. I did try and cheer up when we scored a few goals. But
Butts to Worrell again. He knew where Miller was, hounded by Jordan. Neil Bullen, it's all go for the Crows. Back in motion again. Berry's kick. The open plane in the pocket. Keys versus Blakey. Brilliant.
Yeah. That's the first time Ben Keys has been able to get goal side on Blakey, but Blakey's credit, he chased him
the
down,
children are kicking off.
played an effective tackle.
The children are pushing, pulling shirts and things.
And the way he tackled Nick Blakey as well, we talked about the chase down tackle. That was a textbook.
Well handled by Worrell. Coming, just little pop kick. Free kick to Rochelle.
So
he goes over 50.
Are you kidding me? We've just given a free kick and then another 50. It's petulance. Absolute petulance. That is a fucking disgrace, to put it bluntly. I'm sorry for swearing. But that is an absolute disgrace. Like, the disgrace.
We'll have a look at it again. He's had his hands full, Dane Rampy tonight. He's had to play on Rochelle. He's had to play on Rankin on different occasions. And they've all hit the
disgrace.
scoreboard. To see how this unfolded here. So a little bit
So
ahead
what,
of
like, okay, we give the 3 away. Fine, alright.
No.
And then he just...
Come on.
Might cop a 1,500 Josh
He's
Rochelle
now going to be suspended. He's going to get suspended, which is all you need with the injuries we've got. He's going to end up being suspended like an idiot. He's just costing his team. He's not costing the team this game because we've lost. But it's costing the team in future weeks, isn't it?
I guess they'll say the contact was unnecessary.
Yeah, it was.
Of course it was unnecessary contact.
Yeah, no.
And it would have pushed, the contact would have pushed him backwards, yes, but
A flop.
yeah, it was a good one.
Anyway, kicker on the night now, Rochelle. 5 last week, 3 tonight.
He's had a good night.
Good couple of weeks for Rochelle.
Having a good season. Put his head down, his bum up after being left out of the team for this very fixture late last year. Another entry again, defended by Blakey. Corey Warner's turn now. He had nowhere to go. Berry, he was a tackle machine when he first came into the Crows team. And what a fierce wraparound on there.
They got back to work here, Hutto.
Yep.
Crows have got back to work. They just had a little breather.
little spark, didn't they?
Yep.
Back at it again. Saligo forced the contact.
And you can see it. The energy's back up, and that contested footy, which was, you know, they were down in early in the game. They got an appetite for it again.
Rochelli's moving again. Blakey left his man to help out.
Looked like he smacked him in the
Coming
back.
back to the more central position. There's a whistle that's gone out.
I think he might have been looking for another free kick then too, Josh Rochelli, which I think is what the Sydney boys are telling him. But he's in good form. They've picked the bit back up here, the Crows. They've got blood in their nostrils.
Will Thorpe. Oh, he got it somehow. Threw it on the left. Crows dominating possession in the last 10 minutes. McCartan.
Just over 4 minutes of the third quarter.
McLean made the
I don't
contest.
wish
Heaney
this
front and
was
centre.
4 minutes to the end of the game.
Eyes turned to the
There
wing.
is still another quarter to
Adams
go.
did pretty well, but
That is the
Keane,
bad thing. There is still
play
another
to
quarter to
hand,
go.
Off the ground, through Fogarty. Here's Rochelli. There was a welcoming party for him that time. Heaney into the middle. Adams, and then to the near side to McInerney. Back to Wade. McLean was leading hard.
But the Adams kick comes wide, and they got Warner one out inside forward 50. And now he's got about 8 players in front of him.
Intruding. The Hamling. 100th game last week. Wasn't a particularly memorable one. From a Sydney point of view, Adams to McInerney. He is bringing up the same milestone tonight. The lead is 69. The effort has been better in this quarter.
To be fair,
Crow's response has been outstanding.
the effort was
Adams
better,
flew
and
with
then
intent.
we just cost ourselves again. We've literally given 8 points
Has a
away
kick
just
into the
now.
middle.
Great.
Rochelli was a soccer
What
player,
a kick.
and that was
What a
absolutely
kick.
magnificent. And it's over to Keys.
Wow.
It deserved a goal.
Wow.
And that's
What
exactly
a
what
pass.
it got.
That was good. That was
is
an
firing.
amazing pass.
That is brilliant.
My
There's
favourite
an
shoot
artistry
behind.
to that. So he grew up playing soccer in
I've
Shepparton,
got-
I think, in the
yeah.
Goulburn Valley. And just the way he
So at
flicks
the
this
top
on,
you
he was
can't
offside,
see,
Keys, but
but I got some Christmas
good, Gary.
ones.
was he? Look at that.
Which are lovely.
That is one of the plays of the
The
year right there.
yellow ones
And good
I
enough
really
to
love.
finish too with the lizard bearing down on him. It's a bit of artistry and all.
The
of
yellow
that.
and black one I
Superb
love.
from Josh Rochelli.
And
Superb.
the white ones.
So good.
Superb.
We'll be watching this all week.
Alex Neil-Bullen just came from the bench a little sore. Looks like a left knee, so he's just gone for a little run. He's with the doctor now. They're just testing it out, so it'll be interesting to see whether he comes back
These
into
ones
this game.
as well.
How good, Hutto.
Yeah, so I got
How
3.
good
They're my favourite.
was that?
Yeah.
It's amazing, wasn't it?
It's just
Saw an
brilliant.
incredible goal on the Gold Coast today, didn't we?
Did.
From Flanders.
Hey, I don't want Alex Neil-Bullen to be sore. He's probably nearly the best player on the ground tonight.
Saligo takes off. Berry back to Thilthorpe, showing his mobility again. Coming, and it is into the goal square. Keys again goes down.
So resting Jordan Dawson forward now. Love that.
Luxuries now.
Yeah, love that from Matthew
They're,
Nicks.
yeah,
Just
blue. Well, they're
continue
blue and
to
yellow.
Expose your players to different areas of the ground.
Drops very short. Play on the call. Keys again tries to fire it out. Jordan somehow found a way to exit. Quick kick though, and Keane in front.
That is intercept mark number 6 for Mark Keane. Been superb.
Dawson drew his attention. The kick was pretty darn good. Curtin.
Had the opportunity first to give it back to
Okay, Swans get it.
Rankin. I tried to, not sure what he tried. Actually, I think he was to try to absorb and then maybe feed back again, but didn't have the strength that time to execute a handball.
Welcome to the stream if you've joined me. This is very depressing. Very depressing.
Bit of feedback.
Might just go back to bed afterwards.
Like this guy's game.
just to get over it. Yeah, they're very West Coast colours. Yeah.
In the end, he gets another possession. Into the pocket towards Dawson, who got displaced pretty comfortably that time. Grundy.
Nice mark by Grundy.
Fresh knee bandage tonight. At the start of the night, it's got a bit of mud on it now. Clears it. Probably only momentarily, although Philthorpe was on the floor. Corey Warner.
That's a great pickup. Great pickup by Warner.
Turn and handball. Butts claimed.
Solid. Ball up.
Sheldrick had 8 in this quarter, so he's tried to sort of generate through the midfield. Good tackle there.
I just...
Close to a grinding halt.
I don't know. I don't know. Bloody hell. Bloody Cardi's got 118 people watching. It looks like he's in a hotel room.
Sheldrick disjointed. It's an Adelaide free, so there's no advantage for Isaac Keane. He better return it quick, smart.
Jordan Butts just came from the ground as well after that
Rouse
tackle. That's the scary thing for the Crows, isn't it? When they're so far up, you just worry that about bodies getting hit, particularly with the Swans getting frustrated.
There are a lot of people doing a live watch over this, guys.
Okay, keep an eye on that.
Lots of people.
High ball for Grundy, toppling, and he brings it to ground.
And I'm roughly, I'm the third most watched, so thank you everyone for joining me. This has been depressing. Oh, is he in Darwin, is he?
So for all the early bluster, with their 4 of the first 5 goals, they've lost the quarter by 10 points, and they're on the back foot again here. Adelaide just steadied themselves and got an appetite for hard work again, and sort of resorted back to what we'd seen.
McInerney places it for Heaney. Thought he was deserved of a free kick, and the umpire sees it the same way. Last 15 seconds of the quarter. Heaney gives it plenty. Tries to kick to Warner. Predictable for the Crows. Keane might as well mark that. No,
do we have to watch the last quarter? That's special. Can we just give the game away now? That's what I'd like to be able to do. Just give the game away. Screw it. You can have it. There's.
For Butts. Is that ice though?
Right, let's turn the sound down.
Hang on here.
Because that will hit me if I have the sound up. Well, once again, thank you everyone for joining me. This is one of the most actually, no, the grand final in 22, that was depressing, actually being there. But it is awesome to have you here. Just hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and just make sure you keep watching the videos. If you want to support me, you can do a super chat, buy me a coffee, anything like that to support the channel would be honestly truly appreciated. Allow me to keep doing what I'm doing. It really does help me to keep doing what I'm doing. We've got stuff sort of planned. Obviously a baby on the way. Oh God, my life is over. My life is over. I'm not allowed to leave. I'm not allowed to leave. Okay, Peter, I will stay around for the next. I will stay around for the next, well, 20 minutes of the game. I will warn you, as soon as it's done, I'm off. This is painful. Well, what can, I just don't know. It's frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Footy made for the fans. Peter does say he had to sit through a 138-point loss to to Hawthorn, in which we kicked just 4 goals in the match. Look, you didn't have to sit there. You could have gone. If it was me in the stadium, I probably would have left. Raccoon, I don't do live in every match because I just don't have the time. How many watch-alongs have I done so far for this season? I'm looking. Stand by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done 6 watch-alongs so far this year, this season. But it depends. The problem is I've been so busy the last few weeks. I sometimes have to coach football on a Saturday morning as well. Plus, obviously, Thursday and Fridays I'm walking dogs. I'm working, and obviously the games are not at the right times for me. So yeah, it's as and when I can, and I love to interact with you guys. But hi Riley, that's okay. It is depressing. Yes, I'm a Sydney fan. I am a Sydney fan. I've just seen. I actually don't have a Sydney scarf. I have my Sydney hats and stuff, which I should put on now and just cover my face. But yes, I'm Sydney. And my God, it's difficult being a Sydney fan. There are worse teams to support, obviously, in terms of how painful it is. But yeah, what's next Friday? What's fireworks? Adelaide versus Brisbane. Well, it should be a decent match, that. Hi, Jimbo. Oh, we've got to beat Port. Port have been playing crap. So if we don't beat Port, that'd be depressing. Rochelle has played well. If he's not man of the match, I'd be shocked. I would be shocked. Man of the match for Rochelle. Like that turn near the start of the game was brilliant. Right, last quarter.
An article in the Advertiser in Adelaide this morning because he was left out for this game late last year.
It is not really working so far, is it?
Happened around the showdown, and his maturity has been one thing. The club organised a mentor who has really helped him with areas such as humility and just being thankful and grateful, I guess, for his position. And he's responded brilliantly, and he's been an excellent player. The broken ribs at the start of the season, so it's really working well for him and the team. 75 points is the margin as we start this final term with Adelaide. And they responded, Gaz, didn't they? It was 45 points at one stage, and you were starting to call things up.
No, well, they kicked 4 of the first 5 goals, but more impressive than that even was that Adelaide just got hungry and got their work rate back up and just banged on the last 5 of the quarter to bash it back out to 75. They've been absolutely superb, the Adelaide Crows. The fact that they had a little bit of a challenge and responded like that makes them even more impressive, I think. The game's theirs for 100 plus right now, if
really
they can maintain the rage.
That's all we can look at now.
Who knows how important percentage might be come the end of the season for a double chance or top spot, who knows?
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll be talking about the Sydney Swans for the week as well, and just where they're at. They're staring at a 4-8 start to the season and back-to-back poundings.
Isaac coming. Too far off on the second bite. Malcolm went to ground, then he realised he was still in.
He heard Isaac.
Barbecue snack. Bear in mind we were in the final last year, so you know.
Two Isaacs, come on, he says.
Yes, we have dropped off, to say the least. We have dropped off, to say the least. Isaac's limping.
Grundy. Back out to McLean.
Look, the Swans showed.
Brody Grundy's won.
The Swans just showed. We scored four goals in the last quarter. However, obviously we also let in 17 of those. But we've shown we can score. It's just
in regards to that.
I don't know.
You know, he shouldn't be leading the way.
Is it the manager's fault? Is it?
He's been getting a fair bit of the footy actually in the last month.
You know, is it Dean Cox's fault? Is it the fact that the players we've got, you know, it's not enough for us?
In dispute for a while,
you know,
still
the
is.
Injuries we've got, whatever.
Michael Annie couldn't really clear the mess.
Don't
and it's
know.
Rowbottom from
really
Jordan.
don't know what the answer is.
Inside again. Worrell, a step on Adams, favoured considerably by the bounce, but then jolted out in the tackle. Cleary back to where he hoped someone would be, but instead he was littered with Crows coming. Hinge hasn't had to probably play the significant role that he did last season. Hinge off to Miller and along the line to Curtin, who continues.
Well, Miller has kicked it really well.
He's a highly skilled player, John Owen. His career really has been crippled by injury. Boy, that's a tough call on the no 15, given what we've seen.
11 kicks tonight for Miller at 82%, so it's excellent.
No place for Beards in the last quarter.
No Beards. Sam Draper's come on, and the big fella is going to have a sit.
Almost has a sit.
It's a good time for Draper to come in and play some minutes. Sid, what did I call it?
Sam.
Did I? Did I? I apologise.
I was trying to not let everyone in on it.
No. Call it out. Sorry, Sid. You should remember Sid. It's a great name.
Yeah.
Yes, Sydney.
That's a big thing.
Swans.
Like you see in that last quarter, we gave 2 50s away.
So they've still got him.
I think that's 3 so far this
Serving
game.
an apprenticeship as the
I say
sub, but
it's
listen, he stays in the team.
when the 3 of them were not needed,
This young man
there's
is
no
Curtin.
reason for us to give them away.
Full stretch.
Yeah,
Just flings
that
there.
can be game changing. It probably wasn't game changing in this game.
Knocked it on,
But if it's a tight game and we're
before
giving
he
away
gets that
50s,
pass,
we've given a lot away so
Curtin
far this
brought
season.
him down.
Yeah, the commentators have even talked about that. So when it's a tight game,
It's over and out.
how can you afford?
As you can
that's
probably
the
gather
difference
from the
between winning
smile
and
on
losing.
Riley Thilthorpe's face, just a tactical sub,
yeah.
that one, just managing him to make sure they get him through to next week.
Most improved player this year for the Adelaide Crows, nearly in the competition. Riley Thilthorpe.
Yeah,
Hi,
right up there
Ashley.
in the Coleman race, so he limits his chances, doesn't he? He's only got the 2 for the night. Could be a chance to fill the boots, who knows? Warner back up amongst it after spending the third quarter, I should say, only out of the goal square. Next 3 matches for the Crows. 2 in the bye. As we said, huge Friday night against the Lions at home. Draw last time, and then the Hawks down in Tassie.
Yeah, it's big, massive. That is a big match next Friday.
And he's still going at it. Miller, a step on through. Not 1, not 2, but 3 tackles. And to the outside to Curtin. And then to Berry. Now this is a high ball from Dawson. Keys, you know he won't give up. Outnumbered. Next contest, Rampy looked one way, then the other, and back out to the left again. And they didn't mark it, and Cleary couldn't. It was always going to be an opportunity for the Crows to step through. Hinge to Neil Bullen, coming, knocked away from Mitchell. Neil Bullen couldn't get ball to boot. Fogarty fires it back on the left boot, and Ben Keys. He's almost permanently set up for the snap.
Tease now, and then they score. Just high enough for us not to let
Well, he
reach
deserves
it.
the reward, Ben Keys. I've loved his game tonight.
Whatever his name is.
Gaz, I reckon that his work rate's back to that elite level. His tackling inside the forward half of the ground has been spot on. His pressure, he set the tone in the first half.
You know what, the
pressure
score is
inside forward
literally
50 for Adelaide, and others jumped on board because of his efforts.
I'm going to go have a nap after this, I think.
Yeah, he's got a couple of goals on the board, so starting to cash in.
Have a nap. This is just shocking.
Yeah, so good to see Alex Neil-Bullen's back out there, so he would appear to have got through and had a hand in that as well. He's had 6 score involvements, only Michelle's had more. And I agree with you, I think Keys' work rate sets a standard for the rest of this forward half. We saw it last night from a Collingwood point of view. We're seeing it again tonight. Forward halves that just value pressure and tackling and keeping it in and turning it over as much as they do kicking goals. And it's setting them up beautifully.
118th consecutive game for Ben Keys. He'll be against his old team Brisbane next Friday night. Heaney off his own steam to Hinge takes the mark. What a climb at half back.
Wow, he got another lift. He took the mark and went up again. This back 6 is solid. Let's have a look at this, Jono.
Back with the flight, goes up.
Yeah,
very good. Look better live.
Sometimes they're better on the replay, Gaz.
It's so depressing. So depressing. You're not even going to get
Dawson just plucks that. It was still a very good
So they've had a great win. Jordan Dawson's played well, but he hasn't had to rip the game to shreds by any stretch, and he misses there, kicks out in the full. But it's been such an even. It's one of the more even performances from a team for a long time. I mean, Keane in the back half's been superb. Yeah, Rochelle we've talked about. And Neil-Bullen was spoken about. I've loved Worrell's game. It's just across the board, John. I think that's a great sign.
Roberts with a high ball, batted back by Keane. Cummings somehow stayed on his feet. He can't guide the kick. Roberts again.
It's efficient. It's very efficient tonight. 282 disposals so far in the game for 19 goals. So it's not that we're looking at the high 300s, 400 disposals to achieve that.
Look at this bloke. How good is he playing?
Oh, he's had an unbelievable year. Very, very good. From minute 1 in 25, this man.
It's his 8th intercept mark. Yeah, mind you, they left him alone in the first half for much of the game.
The record's 10, isn't it? We've said that a lot of games.
It's 312 blokes. Take 10.
Usually they take 5 early.
Hi, Sarah.
Hear from them again. Coming down the line.
This is depressing.
Relatively low ball, so Rampy with a double fist into the crowd. So their biggest win ever against the Swans was by 90 points in 1996. And that was at the start of that season. Sydney ended up playing in the grand final that year under Rodney E.
We have just been awful.
Can't see
been
the way
aggressive
this season's
enough. We've given
unfolding for this Swans outfit.
space.
They have got
to start off with our
absolute
kicking wasn't
gifted
good enough.
class not playing, which is going to make them better when they
There's
come
only
back.
so many things
I think by the time they get back,
haven't been good
might
enough.
be beyond
You know
them
what I
this
mean?
season.
Gordon was working on the bench for all the season. Rankin,
Papley down there.
yeah, feeds it
I
into the
still
middle.
think, like, granted,
The
the
pass by
kicking,
McInerney. That just
kicking
allows
for
Smith
Crows
to come
has
on
been
through
great. I think
into the
we've
goal
flattened them
square.
in terms of giving them
Was Keys.
hell of a lot
They
of
were hitting him
space.
hard.
We've given them a lot of space
Yeah, so they
to
got
do what they want with it.
McDonald, who
Rochelle
hasn't
has
played.
been
Their forward line
fantastic. He
particularly has
has
been
been
decimated.
brilliant. So you can't really take that away from him.
Yeah, 4 and 8.
And
the bye is 2 weeks away. It might be too late.
The percentage had been okay until the last couple of weeks. It's taken a hammering now. Grundy looking for the handoff. McCartney. Oh, boy. Dawson under it for a long time, so they're ready for it. Adams crashes to ground. Rochelle fires it out. Worrell's never kicked an AFL goal. Just for a moment then, expectations were rising. Coming. That's going to go close. Oh, Pedler, has anyone touched it?
I don't think they have.
Oh, no.
How did that get through?
Pedler's just done enough to disrupt in the air. Brody Grundy looked all over that.
Isaac Cumming has kicked a second.
Oh, Jesus.
So again, Sydney have the numbers at ground level, but it just goes beyond that. You can see that Isaac was just in amongst so many. And then Grundy just lost sort of where the ball was. Once Pedler put himself there. And he missed it. It's great vision, isn't it?
Take Grundy out of the contest.
Well,
you can do anything. You can almost commit murder at the goal square.
Yeah, within a metre of the goal line.
87 points. What did you say the record was, Hutto?
90.
90?
In 96.
Still plenty of footy. Plenty of time left in this. The Swans have ground to a bit of a halt after having a flurry early in the third quarter. They've had about 10 good minutes, the Swans, and that's it.
Warner. About 3 ideas of what he was going to do with it.
That's
then.
A give-up kick, that.
Double fist away from Hinge. Campbell trying to put something together here, and he did until it was smothered by Keane. In the handball. Campbell couldn't get boot to ball despite his very best efforts. Close to the boundary line now, seen out by Miller, who asked the polite question of whether it was insufficient.
37.
Campbell handball.
124.
Doesn't get the response he was after.
Long way back.
Tells the ruckman that they are a long way back.
And he's right, they are.
And so now they come a long way forward. Laddams, top of the square, and Keane.
9.
There he is.
Umpire knew what to do, he had to pay the mark.
Oh, no, he mustn't have paid that. He's only up to 8.
That's the thing. I can't
Dawson,
even.
Fogarty coming up a long way.
I can't really even say anything too negative. Yeah.
Fine kick. O'Brien had 2
You
tools
can't
to
even
contend
take it
with.
away from
Rochelle
Crows.
just
Like,
trying
their
to force
scoring
the
has been
issue.
so good.
And because he tried to do that, he's penalised. Rowbottom quickly onto the boot to Sheldrick.
We haven't seen the corridor used by Sydney hardly at all, which is a credit to the defence and defending of Adelaide.
That kick backfires. And the crowd has noticeably...
Who wins? That's a good subject. Who wins? PSG or Inter Milan? I'm going Inter Milan.
I'm not used to the Sydney Swans being uncompetitive. Berry.
But I would go and say, yeah,
Wins
Inter
his
Milan
match.
got a decent
Tough
chance
mistakes in
of
Rowbottom.
winning.
I wonder what their attitude will be going forward here. Now, there's players that
I think they could win
have
it.
been around for a while. Are they the future? Will they be there when Sydney challenge? Hopefully it turns for them quickly. They got young players that they need to give time to.
Warner triples it. What was Keane going to do then? He was going to kick it out of the air for a moment. He thought again. Mitchell to Warner. He's been shaping kicks all night, but hasn't quite got the sculptures right.
Joe, I'm amazed. I'm amazed there's 29 people in it.
Assess where they stand, I guess, Gaz.
This is the worst part of the night, I think, if you're a player for Sydney. Fans cheering behind, just...
Glad, yeah. It's painful, mate. I'm amazed there's 29 people in here, though, because you must simply be enjoying my misery. That's all I can think.
It wasn't the sort of...
No, a little vitriol.
that can come at times when you're getting belted like they were.
That is all I
Club
can
has had
think.
so
We're
much
here for my
regular
misery.
success, haven't they?
They got some credit in the bank.
Malikan kicks it deep. McLean searching for a third goal. Downfield, taken quickly by Berry. Please themselves out there. It's 2 Giants recruits, Peatling and Cumming. Back under the left. Draper, not certain how he's disposed of that one. And Chad Warner, another amateur umpire out there, says it was a throw, umpire. Deaf he is again. Laddam's getting a good run now in the ruck. Neither really got a decisive tap. Warner stripped over it immediately. Rowbottom lays his 9th tackle of the night. Berry's hands are quick enough and they get a little chain going. Just nudge down the line. Takes some more territory and the umpire says no.
First time Matthew Nicks has coached a winning game against the Sydney Swans.
Yes, yeah, his old team.
He'll take that one. He's got them well positioned inside the top 4.
Apparently, I'm here for the long haul as well, New Falconer. That's the problem.
They can't be right up there.
A lot of footy, obviously, still to be played, but
I am a member of the Swans. That's the problem. Well, I'm an international member, Riley.
Not just tonight.
I'm an international. I didn't even get any bloody gifts this year.
They made it easy.
Are you not meant to get gifts for a
their
bloody
profile
international
suggests
member?
that
I
they have
didn't.
got a lot of things in place going forward. They defend really well. We know they can score. And they're pretty sound.
Corey Warner. Waiting out wide was McInerney. Had a couple coming at the footy.
Great effort.
But again, they know exactly how to put themselves in the line. And it was Brodie Smith. He can't wait for the siren, I don't think, Dean Cox. This is a hard watch.
He wants this to end now. You see Mills in the background there as well, out suspended. Amati out suspended. Then the injuries to go with it.
They'd be feeling guilty.
Yep.
Mills and Amati would be feeling guilty.
Laddams, good follow. McInerney, pretty sombre affair, his 100th game celebrations. Rowbottom hasn't stopped trying all night. McInerney's had 23, Rowbottom 19, but 9 tackles.
And it's just the way it is for Sydney. You can talk about the injuries. We can talk about the couple of players that are out. We're suspended. There's 7 players that walk straight back in to this lineup. But, you know, there's 7 with opportunity. And collectively, though, tonight, it's been completely poor.
Evan Warner, his opportunities have all been under duress.
I'd love Tommy Papley back, who brings so much spirit and energy, obviously. So maybe they got one more game before the bye, I think, haven't they, the Sydney Swans? I mean, they put a line through it then, and they get back to work. And they have
Richmond, yep.
So that's, you know, on the surface, Richmond outstanding today, didn't quite get there, but that's a winnable game.
Roberts with the setup. Decent lead. Corey Warner. Haywood knocked away Rochelle. Under serious pressure, Cleary.
Here we go, right with Peter, Riley.
85 points, just a little bit of a nothing period here.
It's just grinding ever so slowly to an inevitable end here.
Just trying to talk it up, Gaz.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job, but it is what it is. Swans are sort of trying to fly a flag, and the Crows, they're probably a bit weary given how much pressure they've put on in this game. So they could be forgiven for not quite having the juice to run this ride out.
That's well designed for Laddams. McInerney.
I think you can play Laddams, McLean and Grundy in the same side, Jono?
Well, at the moment, I think through necessity they have to.
Not many teams do.
No, that's right, but
until 28 people, unless it's just simply people watching the game. And even then, I wouldn't want to watch the game unless you're.
And then McDonald's the other one that
are we going to get out of the 30s? Are we going to get off 30 odd into the 40s?
5 goals for the night.
We are not.
With 4 different Swans.
Oh.
And the Crows know the right
we're on 40. Small wins, guys. Small wins we've got to look at. Small wins.
5-10-40 plays 20 goals for. It's a stunning scoreline, isn't it? Nice trajectory out wide for Curtin. Has enjoyed the experience tonight. His 15th disposal. That would be his equal. In fact, he's up to 15 disposals. That's his equal career high.
Yeah, so again, 8 goals straight they've kicked from set shots, if you don't mind, the Adelaide Crows. So that always helps. I think this is another really interesting development, that they've got a player who can play behind the ball, who can play forward as well. They've used him there, and now he's just positioned himself on a wing and looks comfortable.
But what I like also about his game tonight, he walks away with maybe up to 20 by the time the game ends, but it was in that first quarter when the game was really hot.
Yep.
And it was the best I've seen him in that time of game so far in his short career.
Grundy, Sheldrick had the pretty significant opposition. So did Jordan. Filter back into the defensive 50. Hit goes to the outside. Crash and Bath with Jordan. Michael Annie, Berry. Fogarty just nudged under it successfully. Here's Malikan.
I love how
Chris Warner, ready for him again. Ball turned over.
That really
what
is
can Rankin put together? He's doing the maths. It's just
Poor kick.
numbers
Poor
won't add
kick.
up, unfortunately.
No pressure on you at all.
It was an opportunity.
It was.
If ever you were going to kick a barrel on the run, when you're 86 points, 84 points up in the last quarter. We talked about their recruiting a lot, haven't we, Adelaide? Early in the piece, they started so well, and they have added. They've had it really well. Neil Bullen has had another fantastic night tonight. Peatling's been a good addition. Cummings been a good addition. Just really good, solid footballers.
But he tries to stand
yes,
up.
unfortunately, I'm now 3 for 5. I got the Gold Coast.
Danger hasn't passed, that's for sure.
Wrong. And obviously, this one wrong.
They haven't lost the appetite for the tackling.
No, they haven't. He's been the subject of plenty of them.
They might have just at the start of that third quarter, and they quickly found it again. Which
oh, thanks, Newcastle.
Impressive.
Thanks, mate.
Gary gets them ever closer.
Well, last week they conceded 64 inside 50s, and we saw the outcome today. They've conceded 66. The Swans. And we get a similar result on the board, and only been able to get in the low 40s themselves.
Roberts, short all along. He decides on the safer of the two routes out to McInerney, leading possession winner for the Swans. Back again to McCartan. And out the other side. Rampy. Cleary's on his own way down the wing. Basically covered now as Grundy comes in for his 23rd disposal. He's going for the switch rather ambitiously. A bounce. And across to McInerney. Warner running hard to be the next piece in the puzzle, but he's going to take a very good kick here, so he goes longer than that. To a bigger target in Laddams, loping after it. He's denied access. Peatling relentless, both with and without the ball. Smith to Miller. Now Butts.
Almost done, guys.
Short to Pedler. Worrell. Too far out to launch. Kicks really to nobody other than Brody. Grundy a fumble. You don't want Rankin from the pocket. Oh,
it's gone behind. It's gone behind.
I was going to say that was going to be Brody Grundy's 18th disposal in the defensive half of the ground, so he's had to control that tonight. He had to go back and do his best to help.
But he couldn't quite get the disposal.
No, one.
A rumble in the middle.
Mark Keane's never been the leading possession winner on the ground for Adelaide.
Here's Saligo. Full run up. Tempers the kick into the pocket. Well anticipated by Rampy until he fell over. Play on the call.
Keys again.
Rankin put his head down.
Ducked under it.
Umpire, they look at each other and say, no, you've ducked.
Yeah, well,
Why?
Sheldrick. Off to Lloyd. Again, that was to Mr. Nobody in particular. Rounded up by Worrell. Across to Hinge, to his favourite left side.
If I was a Swans fan, I don't.
Provides the way out.
Mate, AW pretty
himself Jordan. Kicks low to
if I was in the stadium, I probably would have gone at half
short to Rochelle.
You got to say it is. I would have gone at half time. I'm not one of these fans. This is embarrassing. So yeah, I would have gone at half time. Screw it.
Bit of soccer flavour tonight at the SCG.
He's even just giving the bloody guy in the crowd a high five. That's embarrassing for us.
Good on him. Good on him. I think, John, you mentioned it earlier. That just great reward. He was a really, really effective player in the first quarter and hardly touched the ball. It was just his energy and his willingness to run and compete. The amount of times he's been the forward 1v2 and outsized and just thrown himself into a contest to get the ball to ground. And this is just boundless energy and willingness to keep. If you keep presenting to the right spots, these things happen late in the game.
Just finish.
Look, he stops. He's happy with the crowd. High five, pause.
To be fair, on the plus side, the last 3-4 years, it hasn't been awful.
Game
right?
148 for
Looking
Ben
at the
Keys.
positives,
418 in a row for the Crows.
What?
Plenty of those in the
2
midfield.
grand finals in the last 4 years.
Repositioned into the front half, which has just been perfect for him, hasn't it?
Yeah, and he's unconditional. So if you've got one
so I
player
suppose
in
you've got
your
to look
front
at the
in your forward 50 who's unconditional and just competes like that, then you start to set up around those sorts of players. And they got all the big tools. We know the skill that, where Thilthorpe is, and we know that Fogarty. He's got a bit to play with, Matthew Nicks. That hasn't always been the case. But right now, they are stacked, the Crows.
Looked like he started coding already. Matty Nicks in the box. Getting things set up. Move on.
Big Friday night coming up against the Lions.
Well, what would 100 points be? No one's really thinking about that right now, I guess.
Well, it feels like it always means something, doesn't it?
You think it does, from an opposition.
Yeah, as much as anything. Adams' kick gets them in. McLean. Campbell getting harder and harder. His weight all going the wrong way. Well handled by Hinge.
25 intercept marks.
Yeah, we asked Matty Nicks pre-game, Gary, around, how do you bridge the gap? Bridge the gap. How do you go past Geelong and Collingwood? The Gold Coast Suns who are able to just beat them this year. And he goes, well, win tonight, a big win away from home. Build that confidence.
Win games like this, he said. Well, they've just won it.
Hi, Sam.
Absolutely smashed them.
Thanks.
So next Friday night becomes...
I'm really depressed, Sam.
Just becomes what
this
footy's
has been
all
a very
about.
quiet
Test yourself
live
against the reigning premier when you're probably in the
right
best form you've been in for a decade.
Awful. But thanks for the
outstretched hands are coming. Gets to McInerney. Fleet of foot needed to be. And
I can only
places it
laugh.
well.
I can only laugh. It's sad laughing.
Mark taken by Hayward.
9 touches.
2 minutes and 50 left. It just got to end soon.
Two involved.
This is the longest 20 minutes of my life.
The first goal of the third quarter when they were trying to just mount something to show for the night. He's their leading goal kicker for the season.
Show for what?
They've missed so many of their regulars.
Look how empty the stadium has got now. That sums up the Swans' performance
last year, grand finalists. It was a stuttering end to last season in some regard, but they did get themselves together over the last month and through the first couple of weeks of finals.
He doesn't even get behind. Hi, Dave. Dave, if you were at the stadium, mate, I hope you've left. I hope you left, Dave.
Michael Annie.
Oh, jeez.
So goalless in this final term to add to one goal from the first half. Such a meagre return. Blakey with a handoff. Here's Melican. The wobbly number
2 minutes.
50.
2 minutes. That is all that's left.
They kicked one goal in the
painful,
first, second,
painful
fourth
performance.
A solitary goal in 3 quarters of footy.
Came off the boot of this man, Hayden McLean. He's taken the bandage off. Mouthguard in the sock. Fully prepared. Trying to land his 3rd goal of the night. 12 goals, 6 coming in 8 games. So going at a career high 1.5 goals per game.
Hope she's okay. Well, as going to fall
short again in the square. A good one-on-one contest. Hayward did his best, but he saw after that there's going to be a lot of headaches in the Sydney camp.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's rubbish, mate.
So that gets it back to 90 points, exactly the equal biggest win they've ever had.
How empty the stadium is
against the Swans, the Adelaide Crows. Floater out to the wing. Just on a minute remaining. Time for one more highlight.
It does some
We've seen a few tonight. Most of them have been for Adelaide fans
to
enjoy.
A minute left.
One of the assists of the season. Josh Rochelle.
Yeah, that is going to be
replayed
over and over and over again. And he's going to love it every time it's played. It was a special moment in this season so far.
I don't think anyone would have got. Surely no one.
That on you on 360, Gary.
Tipped on our Super Group a difference this big. Surely not.
Hook back into play. O'Brien, Heaney. Jordan does what he can. Back to the wing.
Thank you, Ghost Hunter.
35 seconds, so
I tipped Sydney.
Nothing changes from here. It'll be a 90-point win.
Being at home, I knew we've got players out. I know we haven't been performing well enough, but I did tip Sydney because they're my team.
The Adelaide Crows pack up and head home and get set to take on the reigning premier in a Friday night blockbuster to find out. Well, I think we know where they're at, but we'll really find out on Friday night. This has been superb from them tonight.
Interesting shape on the kick. Taylor Walker to ground, but
and as well,
Jordan Dawson.
I'd say this, that previous results do not mean anything. However,
off the left,
Swans have been very dominant against the Crows
for Neil Bullen
at the SCG.
McInerney
So
to Blakey. And the siren is going to sound around the SCG. As the siren sounds at the SCG, which has
please, can I go?
Lost so many of its attenders tonight because the home team have been absolutely slaughtered by the Adelaide Crows. They'll have sterner tests to come, including next week. But what a statement it has been.
I'm going. That's all I can say. Guys, thank you so much. I'm amazed that I get some people may just be watching the call, but
with the home team, we have so many questions to answer in the season.
Thank you so much.
But let's celebrate.
I am very pleased.
Well, Hutto, they started this season in the
first shackles have now been unchained. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe and do that sort of stuff. And
since then, and only give up 65, but tonight they're back to their. So then it all comes together.